Now, in the relaxation allowances, the point of discussion that was going on was how do we consider the relaxation allowances within the cycle time of the uh, within the cycle time or outside the cycle time, like that. See, actually changes from type of operation to operation. So uh, we know that overall cycle time is the total time in which the job should be completed at the standard performance, and it consists of outside work at the standard pace. So you can basically break the cycle time into three components: outside work, OW, and the machine control time, and any portion of relaxation allowance, if we are allowing, which has to be allowed outside the machine control time. So there are basically four cases which are mentioned, where personal needs allowance and fatigue. So relaxation allowance has got basically two further components, that is fatigue allowance and personal needs allowance. So at times personal need allowance and fatigue allowance are given outside the um, cycle time. So the overall cycle time will consist of, again, this figure which I have made. At times fatigue allowance is counted within the operation time, because let's say you've been working, okay, you've been doing outside work, then you start the machine, and machine will run for another 10-15 minutes where you don't have to do anything. So fatigue allowance could be given there only, like once you have done the outside work and you've started the machine, now you don't have to do anything except waiting for the machine to get over. So at times this fatigue allowance could be allowed there itself. um, Personal, at times fatigue allowance could be partially given during the machine control time and then outside the machine control time also, because it's quite possible that you may have to actually stand and look at the operation through the window while it is going on, and you just can't relax that time. So fatigue allowance couldn't be total fatigue allowance which is permissible to you is not being given then, so partially it could be divided. Or completely, if it is a totally automatic work, once the outside work is done and inside work is also done, then the machine is just only machine is working and you're not doing anything. That time your personal allowance could also be given, where monitoring of the machine is not important. So there are several ways in which the uh, relaxation allowance could be given while the machine is going on, or the complete cycle is over, then you give the work allowance, the relaxation allowance. So that there's no one condition in which how relaxation allowance should be given, right? So there are four different conditions which arise. Then you have unoccupied time allowance. So it is also part in your part of your allowances, unoccupied time allowance. So unoccupied time allowance is given to worker when machine is totally going on its own, and worker is just sitting idle. So but before you give the unoccupied time because he's losing some work over there, he has potential, but his potential, for let's say you have potential, good potential, and out of 10 minutes you are working for 7 minutes. So this is not done, like you are actually the 3 minutes of you where you could have produced something, and you could have earned some extra money, so that is not being utilized. So that's why you have to be given some allowance. So the work study person must ensure that unoccupied time is truly unavoidable. That is, जो होना ही होना है वो अनऑक्यूपाइड वो अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते, एंड उसको और कम भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. After that, you give the unoccupied time allowance. Then you have multiple machine work. So what happens in multiple machine work is the machine interference is there. So I'll share a figure. So as you can see over here, uh, that there are three machines, A, B, and C, and one worker is going to operate on all the three machines. Now, what happens over here is that the machine A is working, so the worker A has to start machine B only once the machine A stops working. So in this case, what you see is sort of an interference that this machine starts a bit late, like it's not operating parallelly A, B, and C. So once A has stopped, then the machine B is going to start. So that means you can see that there's kind of an interference which is happening, and because of this interference, some of the machines will go idle for certain period of time. So which is because of which if you look at the overall cycle time, it's kind of a loss that this machine, if it was supposed to make together, A, B, and C were supposed to make 10 units. At the end of the day, they'll be making 7 units. And who will be responsible for that? Will be the worker. So there's some kind of interference allowance which compensates for those lost 3 units of production, has to be given to the worker. Okay, so next we come to chapter 27 now, which is about standard data. Standard data. This is a long chapter and pretty important as well. Standard data. Now, what do we mean by standard data? See, when you're doing method study, you are studying the like. Okay, now can you guys tell me that while you were doing method study, what sort of problems did you encounter? What sort of problems were there when you did the method study? Yes, I'm waiting for some of you to interact and let me know, because that lays the foundation of this chapter.
So deciding which things need more detailed explaining.
Huh?
किस चीज को कितने
Sorry, I
डिटेल
didn't get you.
एक्सप्लेन
Can
करना है.
you come?
Deciding which thing
Okay,
needs more
so
explanation
one,
and which one doesn't.
how, okay, in what details, like what should be the depth of your problem? Okay, okay. Anything else? I'll take some names then. Manvi, Manvi Modi.
Yes, sir.
Can't hear you. Can't hear. आपको
Sir, one
वर्क
minute.
स्टडी करते टाइम क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आई बताओ.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. While doing work study, uh, there was problem
hmm.
while measuring distance and
Problem in measuring
to collect
distance.
the
Okay.
data and to measure the time, especially.
ओके
Hello.
ओके। संदीप, संदीप
Yes, sir.
आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम आई वर्क स्टडी करते हुए, मोशन मेथड स्टडी करते हुए?
वही सर, मेनली स्टैंडर्ड वो स्ट्रिंग डायग्राम बनाने में, डिस्टेंस मेजरमेंट में।
ओके। सो अगर आपको इस तरीके का कोई डेटा होता कि इतना डिस्टेंस चलने में इतना टाइम लगता है, या अगर आप इस तरीके का काम कर रहे हैं तो इतना डिस्टेंस ऑन एन एवरेज आप ट्रैवल करेंगे, आपको ऑलरेडी पता होता तो आसान हो के लिए मेथड स्टडी, या आगे जाके टाइम स्टडी करेंगे आप लोग तो आसान होता आपके लिए या नहीं होता?
होता सर।
राइट। सो बिकॉज आपको ये मेजरमेंट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ती, और कितना टाइम लगेगा उतना ट्रैवल करने में वो भी आपको मेजर करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती। सो द स्टैंडर्ड डेटा जो है ये इसी तरीके की प्रॉब्लम से डील करता है कि इंडस्ट्री पीपल थॉट के देयर आर some standard activities. Many of the activities in especially in mass production are very standard and repetitive. So why don't we establish the standards for those activities or small components of those activities? So for that purpose synthetic data was made. Now synthetic, as we know, is artificial, right? Synthetic means sort of an artificial thing. आर्टिफिशियल कैसे हो सकता है डेटा कि पहले से ही बना हुआ रखा है, आपको खुद मेजरमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, उसको सब कुछ पहले से रेडी है। ओनली थिंग यू नीड टू डू इज टू आइडेंटिफाई द एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द वर्क स्टडी, ऑन एलिमेंट्स का आपको डेटा मिल जाएगा, ठीक है। सो सिंथेटिक डेटा इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ इट्स अ वर्क मेजरमेंट टेक्निक ओनली। इससे पहले कौन सी वर्क मेजरमेंट टेक्निक हमने करी थी, कोई बता सकता है? वर्क मेजरमेंट टेक्निक कौन सी करी थी हमने इससे पहले? वर्क सैम्पलिंग, राइट। दूसरी
Yes, sir.
तरीके की है सिंथेटिक डेटा। So in which in this we, for a given level of performance, we total the element times obtained from past time studies, okay, and create a synthetic time data. So we break down the work into elemental tasks, and for which the data is already available, these element tasks, and we find out the standard time using the synthetic data approach. So next is I mean, it's quite easy, looks like that. So the steps involved in synthetic data are: first you collect the details of the job, then you analyze the job to constituent elements, उसको break कर देते हैं आप elements में। सिंथेटिक डेटा से हम बेसिक टाइम निकालते हैं, फिर जो फैक्टर्स होते हैं, जो कंटिजेंसी देनी होती है, हमको अलाउंसेस देने होते हैं, वो उसके ऊपर इम्पोज करते हैं, एंड देन वी कंप्यूट द स्टैंडर्ड टाइम। एक बार एलिमेंटल एनालिसिस करके उसको वेरीफाई भी करना पड़ता है कि ये सारे एलिमेंट्स मिलके ये टास्क पूरा कंप्लीट करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं। So you can consider it somewhat like this: a book publishing job in which typing, editing, printing, and binding. So when you're making a book, you have jobs like typing, editing, printing, and binding. Although ये बहुत ही मैक्रो लेवल पे लिया हुआ है, बड़े लेवल पे हमने कंसिडर किया। टाइपिंग में अपने आप में बहुत सारी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, बट जस्ट टू एक्सप्लेन दिस यूज ऑफ सिंथेटिक डेटा, सो फर्स्ट वी एस्टेब्लिश द स्टैंडर्ड्स के टाइपिंग में कितने दिन लगते हैं, एडिटिंग में कितने दिन लगते हैं, प्रिंटिंग में कितने दिन लगते हैं, एंड बाइंडिंग में कितने दिन लगते हैं। and we add up all those things. So ये information आपके पास previous time studies से मिल जाती है. So you can, like, per page, if there per page you can find out per page typing, per page editing, per page printing, and per page binding time you can find out, and then as per the number of pages you can then find out the total time. So what are the advantages of having synthetic data? First of all, you can only use it where there is a repetition, and it reduces the time and the cost of application of time study. It makes it more feasible. It makes it feasible to do time study. Synthetic data होगा तो आप हिम्मत भी कर पाएंगे at times, because वो costly नहीं होगा इतना. So it can be then further used in planning, production planning, and control. The next type of work measurement technique is predetermined motion time standards. So predetermined motion time standards. So PMTS, that's what we say. So it is a work measurement technique whereby time established for basic human motions. It is somewhat like it falls under synthetic data only, but then now we are making it more specific because synthetic data के अंदर भी PMTS आता है, MMT आता है, तो वो हम देखेंगे, right? So in this again we establish time for basic human motions. These basic human motions can be classified, उनको classify किया जा सकता है, and they are used to build up time for job at different levels of performance. They PMTS are also called as PTS, that is predetermined time standards. So if you may do motion, at times it may be motion may be used or not, predetermined time standards. So there is a database which is already available of basic human elements, and so there are tables which list the time values which corresponding to basic motion of elements, and there is a hierarchy which is made. So the components of PTS, 6 basic motions. They say there are 6 basic motions, that is reach, grasp, move, position, release, and body motions. So these are 6 basic motions which have been said, and like reach, in the reach we move hand towards the destination. In grasp we secure the control of the object with fingers. In move we of course move the object, grasp it, and then move it. Then position is to line up and engage the object, where you have to actually you have to pinpoint the location where we are going to keep it. And then release the object, that is letting go of the object. Then there are other body motions like leg and trunk movements. So you can consider PMTS or PTS as a concept of constructing a building with the bricks. So each brick and the beams and the plumbing, whatever you're going to do, are the elements, your motion elements or work elements. Here we are assuming that all these elements are independent of each other. मतलब अगर मेरे को हैंड मूवमेंट करने में इतनी देर लगती है, so irrespective of वो हैंड कहाँ मूव हो रहा है, इतनी ही देर लगेगी, right? So this is some assumption which we make. So it follows independence and additivity. The elements of PMTS, they follow independence and additivity. So let's I'm sharing screen now. another screen. So let's have a look at this. Here you can see the characteristics of PMTS levels. So first let's look at this figure over here on the right side. Here you can see that level 1, we say MTM1, and this is MTM1 motion time method. So release, reach and grasp, they are classified in one category. Move and position are in another category, and release is in another category. Now level 1 and higher level. So this is your level 1, and then this is your level 2. So level 1 basically, these are the PMTS levels. Like all these activities which we have talked about in PMTS are over here. Of course, the body motion is not here because they are of a bit of higher level. So when we are talking about first level PMTS, they are more accurate. That is release, reach, grasp. While as we move towards the higher levels, the accuracy reduces. Like get and put is there, and then handle. So they become more ambiguous. The higher level of PMTS are more ambiguous than the lower levels. Ambiguous का मतलब कि आप बहुत accurately नहीं बोल पाएंगे, उनके अगर टाइम स्टैंडर्ड आप यूज कर रहे हैं तो देयर आर चांसेस दैट उसमें वेरिएशन ज्यादा हो जाए. एप्लीकेशन टाइम इज मच टू द सेट स्टैंडर्ड. जितना रिलीज करने में जितना टाइम सेट किया है आपने कि इसको 15 सेकंड लगेंगे, 10 सेकंड, या जनरली ये बहुत ही माइक्रो सेकंड्स में होता है. सो वो जो टाइम है वो बाय एंड लार्ज चेंज नहीं होता है, वो उसके आसपास ही रहते हैं जो भी टाइम्स होते हैं. बट जैसे आप हायर लेवल के लिए करते हैं तो वो उसमें वेरिएशन ज्यादा आता है, ऑफ कोर्स बिकॉज इट इज लेस एक्यूरेट. एंड the first level of PMTS are suited for repetitive works which are very repetitive, but higher level could be used for a bit of, you can say, जहाँ पे कस्टमाइजेशन है थोड़ा, जहाँ पे बैच प्रोडक्शन है, मतलब मास प्रोडक्शन नहीं है बट बैच प्रोडक्शन है कि एक बार बनता है फिर नहीं बनता है उसके बाद. सो repetitive but not that not like the mass production which is happening for the first level PMTS. Cycle times are short, and इनकी longer cycle times are feasible in this. Motion elements are basic motions, so these are the basic motions, while higher level of PMTS, they aggregate these motions together. Release, reach and grasp together makes up get. So this is higher form of a motion, get. Method description is, they are very detailed. So lower the level you are on, the details are very high. And like I tell you to get something, so it encompasses 3 different things, right? So इसमें इन तीनों में अगर थोड़ा थोड़ा वेरिएशन होगा तो get में ज्यादा वेरिएशन होगा, right? So that's why so the lesser the accuracy, they are easier to apply because उसमें उतनी details ही नहीं है. And flexibility of operation, इसमें highest flexibility है, but इसमें flexibility कम होती है because ये इन तीनों से मिलके बनता है. So individually they can be changed a lot, but then together when they are making up one motion, you can't make much greater changes in it. So I hope that must be clear to you. So we are talking about PMTS, and we talked about the levels of PMTS. So as you can see, now you are in also in a good position to answer what are the advantages of PMTS. Like it can help us in defining standards, and uh, so rating is most difficult part of time study, and which is not necessary in PMTS. Uh, they are less time consuming, and they are good for short and repetitive time cycles. So what do I do with PMTS? So first of all, it'll help me in establishing standard times for the activity. It can help me in comparing in method study. If I say two different methods are there which I want to compare, I can use PMTS for that. It will also help me in calculating or estimating manpower कि कितना एक वर्क को करने में इतनी देर लगती है, तो मेरे को कितने वर्कर्स चाहिए टोटल प्रोडक्शन करने में, और how many equipments, how many types of machines do I need, and how much space requirement. So all those calculations could be done. Like planning, it will help in planning, production planning. It will also help in developing work layouts for assembly line. So I'll take another example, a sort of a case you can say, in electronic industry. So types of PMT system, types of PMTS. There is method time analysis. There is work factor system. There is method time measurement. And there is basic motion time. So you can say BMT. Now method time measurement is the most popular method of all times. So we will be focusing on MTM. So you have already seen in the diagram which I've shown earlier, वहाँ पे MTM लिखा हुआ था. So it is one type of PMTS, method time measurement. So method time measurement is a procedure which analyzes any manual operation or method and into the basic motions. Okay. Just a second. We can say that method time in MTM position in there's a hierarchy which is involved. So let's talk about that hierarchy of work activity. So सबसे पहले job आता है. Then after job there is a and then you have basic motion element level. So you find MTMs over here. This is MTM1, you can say. So 1, 2, 3 we will understand what is, why am I writing MTM1. Sagar was also asking कि कितनी details में जाना होता है. So ये एक job है. I mean, let's say I have to make the tea. Then in the tea, there's boiling is one of the tasks. Boiling. Now, boiling the water may have multiple work elements. Okay, like getting few things and getting that utensil on the gas. So those are work elements. And then each of those work elements can be broken down into MTMs. तो इस लेवल पे जाके वो बनाया जाता है. Sagar, I think does this answer your query?
Yes, sir.
To some extent, because now अब मैं आपको जो assignment दूंगा इसके बाद वो time study का है. So you people
अभी एक
can
और
choose to
assignment है।
do time study. वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ ना अभी, तो आपने मेथड स्टडी करी है. मेथड स्टडी के बाद आपने स्टैंडर्ड टाइम तो एस्टेब्लिश नहीं किया है ना अभी. आपकी पढ़ाई तो अधूरी रह जाएगी. आप बाद में दे देना. आई मीन आई विल गिव, अभी टाइम दूंगा मैं 16th के बाद सबमिट करने का टाइम दूंगा. आई थिंक आपके एग्जाम्स आर लेट नो इन मे.
मई में है सर.
हाँ, so I'll give time, sufficient time to give this assignment. I think I can give you till 25th April. Or I think that for you. So fundamental motions जो होते हैं MTM में होते हैं. So I'm just writing fundamental motions. They're reach, move, turn. अब आप सोच रहे होंगे कि PMTS में ऑलरेडी 6 हमने पहले लिखे थे. एक्चुअली PMTS ब्रॉडर लेवल पे है. PMTS का एक टाइप है MTM. ओके, सो MTM के जो फंडामेंटल मोशंस हैं वो लिख रहा हूँ अब मैं. So they are, some of them could be just like that, and some of them are further detailed than which were not there in the PMTS list. So turn, grasp, जैसे grasp उसमें पहले ही था, इसमें भी है. Position भी था. Then apply pressure. This was not there. Then I travel, which was also not there, because when you're looking for things, I is moving from one place to another. So I travel time is also there. Disengage भी नहीं था. And then release of course was there. So you can see here यहाँ पे 10 है, उसमें 6 थे, यहाँ पे you have 10. So these are fundamental motions of MTM. So I can just erase this part. So MTM1, MTM2 and MTM3. So as what we have talked about, जैसे जैसे level change होता है तो उसकी characteristics भी change होती हैं. So MTM1 में आता है release, reach, grasp. ये MTM1 का part है. Then move and position. And then release. ये आपके MTM1 में आते हैं सारे motions. Then MTM2 में क्या आता है? Get and put. वो already हमने देखा था वहां पे. So together ये तीनों मिलके get बनाते हैं और ये दोनों मिलके put बनाते हैं. And then इन दोनों से मिलके handle बनता है. So MTM1 is most detailed, most accurate, and requires longest time for analysis. MTM2 is formed by combining, ये तो बता दिया है, and simplest of all MTM and the fastest among the three versions is the handle part. So इसमें 4 कैटेगरी होती है MTM3 में, which is handle, transport, foot motions, bend and arise. Although यहाँ पे एक ही लिखा है, but 3 और हैं, that is transport, foot motions, bend and arise. So this is the first version of your MTM. तो हम MTM ही यूज करेंगे. Now अगर आप देखेंगे कि इनकी जो ड्यूरेशन है ये काफी छोटी रहेगी, लाइक रिलीज, रीच, ग्रास्प, इवन एट टाइम्स ये एक सेकंड भी नहीं होती है, उससे भी कम होती है. सो इसकी टाइम यूनिट्स स्पेसिफाई करना जरूरी है. अगर मैं लिखूंगा कि 0.00001 आवर, so it is irritating and looks ridiculous to note down. So we should have smaller time units. So उसके लिए PMTS में टाइम मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स होती है TMU, टाइम मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स. So time measurement units for PMTS is defined to be 0.0001 more 0 hours or 0.36 seconds. So the thing is, why do we have such time units? So it allows for more accurate calculations without use of decimals. So because decimals अगर use करते हैं तो उसमें approximation के काफी chances रहते हैं. मान लीजिए आप MTM1 और MTM3 को एक साथ combine कर रहे हैं, तो होगा क्या कि MTM3 तो आपका ज्यादा time units का, maybe it may go in some minutes also. So eventually आप क्या करेंगे, उसको approximate कर देंगे, तो आपकी MTM1 वाले जो activities हैं, elements हैं, वो approximate हो जाएंगी. So that's why we are using TMUs. So in a way, 1 lakh TMUs make up 1 hour, and 100,000 TMUs make up 1 hour, or 1667 TMUs will make up 1 minute, and 27.8 TMU will make up 1 second. Okay, so I'm sharing screen now, another screen. So you can see here MTM example कैसे किया जाता है ये MTM को use. Now we can see the whole idea is I want to find out के nut and washer and a stud इनको fitting करने में कितनी देर लगती है. In terms of TMUs, I want to find out. So the elements are, जो work elements हैं वो हैं fitting washer, fitting nut and turn down by hat, and then tighten nut using spanner. So there are 3 elements in that. Now that each element we see is GC30. So GC means now get के भी 3 तरीके हैं. Like if you can see the book, I'll show you. If you look at book, how this has to be read. What is GC, GA, GB and GC? So if you go to page, you can say it's on page 387. If you go on page 387, there are categories like it's given GA. What is the meaning of GA? So GA is putting the palm of the hand on the side of the box in order to push it across the table. So this is one of the example of GA. So when you're reaching out, even in get, like in category get, you may be trying to reach out to the object, or you may be trying to reach out to gaining control and subsequently releasing control of the object. That is GB, and GC is when the object is released. So there are subcategories in get, put, and weight factor. So you can see some of the subcategories also are considered over here. Now, what is the meaning? How do I read it? So GC means that I'm releasing the washer in the stud. Then PC30. So GC30 means here you can see over here. Let's use the pointer. So you can see over here GC30 means that the amount of movement is between 15 to 30 centimeters. So you are not going, you're not doing exactly. So this is the advantage of standardization, because there is everything available in the standard table. Up so approximately if you look at it and see, okay, 15 to 30 के बीच के movement है centimeter की, तो I'll write it GC30. So GC30 I write it over here. Okay, so GC30 का जो टाइम होता है वो होता है 23 टाइम TMUs. GC30 का स्टैंडर्ड टाइम अवेलेबल है, दैट इज 23. सिमिलरली PC30. सो PC30 का मतलब हुआ पुट. सो in again in PC means object with object still under control at the intended place. So ये स्टड के ऊपर हमने इसके ऊपर यहाँ पे लोकेट करके डाला है वॉशर को, राइट. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज पीसी. एंड अगेन व्हेन यू आर पिकिंग इट फ्रॉम सर्टेन प्लेस, सो ये 30 आ रहा होगा, उसका 15 to 30 सेंटीमीटर का मूवमेंट होगा. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट PC30 का जो टाइम TMU है वो 30 है. एंड सिमिलरली देन यू हैव PA5, दैट इज पुटिंग on the stud, maybe or the nut is put on the stud. So PA5. So PA5 का जो time measurement unit है वो है 3 units. So these 23, 33 they are already available. इसी तरीके से हम सारे elements को further analyze करते हैं, and then we come up with this टाइम मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स को एड अप करके 231 टाइम मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स बनती हैं. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेकंड्स वी नो दैट इट इज 0.036. सो 8.316 सेकंड्स आपको टाइम लगता है एक स्टड को वॉशर के साथ एंड नट के साथ असेंबल करने में. आई होप दिस वाज क्लियर. एनी डाउट्स? Any doubts in today's lecture?
सर एक बार PA, PB and PC
So I'll be putting up